Hello my friends, my name is Juan. I speak about automations, AI, sales process. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe at my channel and watch the videos. I hope you learn something with these videos. Everything I do here is for you to learn more. Alright, today we're going to speak about triggers at n8n. And today we're going to speak about the on-form submission trigger. So let's take a look at my screen. This is my nodes and triggers workflow, and the on-form submission runs the workflow when someone submits an n8n form. Simple example, a client fills a form with name and order. n8n stores the data and sends a confirmation email. When we go to a workflow, let's take a look. I'm going to exclude this trigger manually. We have a blank workflow, right? And let's take a look at the triggers. When we click here, we have the on-form submission option. Let's use this, and let's take a look at our options. We have the test URL and the production URL. When you click at the production URL, you can save and activate your workflow, and you can copy this production URL and you can share it to people, submit answers to your forms. Right, this is a blank forms because we didn't set it up. Right, let's take a look at the setup of our form trigger. How we can set up this? We have some options. Let's take a look. First of all, we have the authentication. What is authentication? You can set it like none. You don't need authentication, but you can set it basic off. With basic off, you can create a credential for basic off. When you create a credential, you set a user, a password, and people will need this user and password. For example, we have this basic off credential for basic off, set it up, and let's take a look. When we try to access our form, it will ask for me a name, a username, and a password. Right, this is an option, but we are going to set it like none. We don't need an authentication. We want everybody be able to send answers at my forms. Right, you can set a form title. Let's set a form title like contact with us. And form description, we'll get back to you soon. Let's use this. We'll get back to you soon. For elements, here you choose what is the elements of your form. All right, and you can set it. You can set the element type. You can set a text. You can set checkboxes, date, drop down, email, file. So let's ask only the name of the person. Name. You can choose a placeholder like right here your name and a default value. You can set it like required field too. If you want it to be a required field, you set a required field. At options, we have some options: append n8n attribution, build and label, form path, form response, ignore bots, use workflow time zone, custom form, styling. So let's take a look at append n8n attribution. When we save and we're going to take a look at our production URL, we have our forms. Contact with us. We'll get back to you soon. The name and the placeholder, right here your name, and we have here this form automated with n8n. If I want to take it out of my forms, I can go here at options and append n8n attribution, and I set it off. When I set it off and save, I can see that it doesn't appear anymore, right? Let's take a look at other options. Other cool option you can set is form response. When you choose form response, is the text to show here when every time that we submit something, your response has been recorded. It will appear to the people, right? So let's take a look. You can change it. My name is Juan. I will submit. Your response has been recorded, right? You can change this for whatever you want. Let's take a look at another option, custom form styling. If you want to change, for example, from orange or red to blue buttons, you can, for example, copy this code and ask an AI to change it for you. So let's ask it, change the button color to blue. Let's take a look. Let's copy. We're going to paste it, save, and let's take a look. Now we have the blue button, and you want to change something, other thing, fonts and things like this, is just custom form styling. We have also a button, ignore bots. When you set on the ignore bots, it will ignore requests from bots like link previewers and web crawlers. This is the description of this button. You have also the form path. If you want to change this path, if you want to write like forms, if you write forms, it will be forms at your URL. Alright, button label. If you want to change the button label, let's take a look. Now is button label is submit. You can change it, set another thing if you want. Use workflow time zone. When you turn it on, you will use UTC time zone. If you set off this, it will use the time zone that you are using at n8n, right? Let's check our link, contact with us. Let's take a look at another workflow. This is a form trigger that I changed the form title, form description. Form title is contact and lead intake form. Form description, please fill out the form below so we can understand your request and contact you properly. We have some different form elements. Field name, I ask the full name. The element type is text. This is the placeholder. Required field, other field is type of request. I will change it. I will use as area. Don't have default value. The options is marketing, sales, technical support. You can set it multiple choice, but it will only be required field. The third field is preferred contact channel, radio buttons, and we have email, WhatsApp, phone call. The default value is email, also required field. Another field is do you agree to be contacted? This is a checkbox. Default value is false, and the options is yes or no. I don't want default value, right? It needs to be an exact number, and it needs to be one. Is only yes or only no, right? Respond when form is submitted, and form submitted test. Thanks, your information has been successful. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to copy the production URL. I'm going to save, and let's take a look at it. Contact and lead intake form, full name, area. I need to write something here. WhatsApp, phone call, email. I will select only WhatsApp. Do you agree to be contacted? Yes. I can set the no, but it will show me a message. You must select exactly one option. Yes, and I can submit here. When I submit, for submitted, thanks, your information has been successfully submitted. Right? With this information, I can send a message to people. I use the response name. I use if I get the email of the person, I can use it to send a message. It's a very common sales process workflow. Another option we have here is the other options of form here. If I go to the nodes panel here and I type forms, I can see the n8n forms, and I have two options here: the next form page and the form ending. Here I set the next page and the ending. You can set other questions that you can ask for people after he click and submit in the first page, right? And in the end you can set here a message to people: finish it, thank you. Right, let's take a look at this. Let's take the production URL. This is our form. It will ask me my full name, Juan Liberato, type of request, sales, preferred contact channel, WhatsApp. Do you agree? Yes. So I'm going to answer, I'm going to submit, and I'm going to another page. What is your main goal? My goal is to get more money, and I'm going to submit. When I submit, I'm going to the page that I set at the node end. Right, let's take a look again. This is our setup. This is our workflow: form trigger, next page, and the end. This is very important in sales process, because when you use steps at your forms, you ask things to people and they don't get tired of answering your questions. People will open your forms, will answer two questions and go to another step, answer one question, go to another step, answer two questions, and after it he finishes. It's much better than he opens a form and see all the 5 questions he needs to answer to finish the forms, right? So it's a technique, a sales process technique that you can use with the form trigger and the forms nodes, right? I hope it helps you. This is a basic trigger, but it's important to understand about the resources you have to make better process. And if you want help with your first steps, I have a mentorship, one-on-one mentorship, just me and you, and I can help you to achieve your goals with business automations, with AI, with n8n. The link is at the description, right? See you at the next video.